Hey, what's up, everybody? Devontae back in the house again after an ass whooping yesterday from FC Utrecht 4-0. That was one of the most embarrassing and disgraceful performances I've ever seen from Ajax. And where do we go from here, bro? Where do Ajax go from here? Because I think y'all see my match reaction. Most of y'all, I was pretty much pissed, but composed, because it was Easter. Uh, and I've congratulated PSV with winning the title, and some people might say, "Oh yeah, you're reactionary. Or what are you talking about?" So we're still up by 6 points if PSV win the game against FC Twente, which I don't. I really don't think FC Twente is going to win. They play at home against PSV, but FC Twente has not been good, so we already can guarantee that PSV is going to win that. And then Ajax only have a 6 point lead then, right? And the thing with PSV is PSV are like Spurs. They just continue to score goals. Their defense is not good, but they always like continue to like try and score, trying to create opportunities and all that. That's PSV for you, right? So like, and compared to Ajax, like we don't score goals at all. We barely can score goals. If we don't get a penalty, it's like whatever, bro. We have too much problems with scoring goals. We're not that creative of a team, so that's why you're struggling to score goals. And you know, so people like say, "Oh yeah, like you're reactionary. What you talk about? Oh, we're still in the lead." Listen, who do you trust in this team to get this over the line? Who do you trust? You tell me, as an Ajax fan or whatever, or somebody who watches Ajax sometimes or something. You tell me, who do you trust? Who do you think is able or can guarantee us victories for the last remaining 4 games that we have? You tell me, because I watch Ajax like most of my life. Most of my life, I've watched Ajax, right? And I've watched Ajax all season this season. You tell me who's going to carry this team to victory against Sparta next week, against NEC, and against Groningen and FC Twente. But the remains, the coming 2 games that we have against Sparta, and I say those are the most important. Those are the most important, right? You tell me who's gonna do the job. Who's gonna take the game by the scruff of the neck and say, "Hey, you know what, guys? Uh, let's make sure we're gonna win, not even lose, just win." Who? Right? Because people say, "Oh yeah, oh why are Ajax fans panicking?" Also because those Ajax fans know, they see, they're not blind. They see that we're not playing the best, right? Mentally, right? We have a lot of willpower. We're putting in a lot of effort, right? But technically and also creatively, this team is poor. It's piss poor, bro. It's poor. And also when it comes to like finishing, we're struggling to score goals. Even the bench. That horse is better than Broby, but he also doesn't really score a lot, does he? We're struggling to score goals. So you tell me who's gonna score these goals for us? Because you definitely don't have to bring up Bobby Lashley. You don't have to bring him up at all because we all know he only got 4 goals in 27 matches. It's definitely not coming from Jos neither, the guy who also got 4 goals. Bertrand Traoré, no. Berghuis, definitely not. Klaassen, the guy that they call Mr. 1-0, hasn't made a first goal in how long? Well, I think it's been a month though. But you get what I'm saying. Taylor, listen, man. Taylor has been having a good season, and if you ask me, he'll be the best player of Ajax this season. But even then, Taylor is not that great. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to score the goals? You know, so I feel like people that say, oh yeah, why are you Ajax fans reacting this way? Why are you saying, oh yeah, congrats PSV, all this and this that? Because this team for like most parts of the season has gave us nothing to believe in that they're gonna score a lot of goals and guarantee us this title. So why should we start to believe now? Why should we start to believe that all of a sudden Taylor is going to look like Rafael van der Vaart or something, or that Broby all of a sudden turns into Patrick Kluivert or something, or Shota Arvelosse, and that Berghuis now all of a sudden turns into Hakim Ziyech or Gods, now all of a sudden looking like Mark Overmars. That's not going to happen, bro. That is not going to happen. Be realistic. Be realistic. Farioli did a good job for getting the most out of this team, but even he cannot get into the absolute, like turn this around. I don't think so. And yesterday he had it wrong. He should have started with Weghorst and Edvardsen, and Fit Jim. He should have started with Bertrand Traoré as well, but no. And I'm gonna tell you something. If he starts with the same lineup again as yesterday against Sparta and NAC, guaranteed we're dropping points, and then we definitely can say congrats PSV for sure, for sure. If he starts the same lineup against Sparta and NAC, the title's finished because Broby is not in form. As a matter of fact, I trust Konadu more than I trust Broby. You know what I'm saying? So, but judging by the players, right? I did say yesterday they were like mentally weak and all this stuff, right? Because I saw the press conferences after the game, like Taylor, Klaassen, Berghuis, and Farioli, and they didn't look shook. They didn't look like they were in panic and stuff. They did understand that today was horrible, and I feel like they're going to use that as fuel to try to win those games that they have, the 4 remaining games, and drag this title over the line. But I hope that yesterday was mostly a wake-up call for the whole team instead of like starting to panic. I don't want them to panic. I want them to like use this as motivation and wake the fuck up. That's what they need to do. They need to wake the fuck up. Wake your punk ass up like MC8 from Compton's Most Wanted. Wake your punk ass up because these 4 games are very crucial. And if you even if you even have the thought, and if you even have the gall and nerve, and if you even have the audacity, most of all, to fumble this title, I am coming for all of you. I am firing on all of you peasants. Because what we're not going to do is do a repeat of 2007 and 2016. That is what we are not going to do. I don't care if this team is not as good as those teams was, or worse, or better than those teams. We are not going to do that. Not on my watch. Because like I said, if I have to see Ajax fumble a title this season, if I have to see Arsenal not winning Champions League this season, and if I have to see Spurs win in the Europa League this season, if all those 3 things happen, I am retiring from football and going back to basketball fully. Even though the Lakers are not as good as they used to be as well, because the Lakers are now down 1-0 in the playoffs against the Timberwolves. I hope they wake up as well, bro. I hope LeBron wakes up, and I hope Luka Doncic wakes up. But I'm not worried about Luka. I'm worried about the guy who's fighting against Father Time, LeBron James. This guy needs to understand that his time is now like John Cena to retire. You know what I'm saying? So if all those 3 scenarios happen, all those 3 in one season, I am quitting football. Because I can only take so much, bro. All those 3 things happen, this channel is only going to be about basketball and music. Guaranteed. Dead ass. For real. You know what I'm saying? But listen, man, that's what I need. I need to wake up, bro. I just need to wake up, especially like Farioli. Stop playing Brian Broby. Brian Broby's finished, and I hope the Ajax board, the direction, sees the same as me and other fans who are tired of this guy and sell him to another club, the Premier League or wherever. Because this guy, I have no more words from Brian Broby. I've said what I said about Bobby Lashley. This guy should have been in WWE. This guy should have been working at a Surinamese restaurant at the Bounwood or something, since he likes nasi so much or something. Nasi'tje. Yeah, you go work at Kamien or something like that, Brian Broby. Yeah, you should have worked there instead of like being a football player. This guy is stupid. This guy's arrogant. And this guy is mentally weak, right? This guy... You know what I'm saying? Like I said yesterday, he left us high and dry for RB Leipzig, right? And then when he couldn't hack it there, he was crying for a second chance at Ajax. And it looked like he learned his lesson. But he got comfortable. And what happens to players that get comfortable? They don't work on their game. They think they know it all. And they think they're better than the rest. They think they don't need... you know what I'm saying? People that criticizing him are wrong. And I also blame the fans for babying this dude. Same as Arsenal fans did with Bukayo Saka. But compared to Bukayo Saka is smart. Bukayo Saka works on his game. And Bukayo Saka proves doubters wrong. Brian Broby doesn't do that at all. He proves us right. Not only do I blame the fans, I blame the Ajax Youth Academy for not being hard on him before he made the first team. You had to work on his game. You had to work on his technique. And what do? You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I bet Akinfenwa got a better technique than he does. You know what I'm saying? This guy want to be Akinfenwa, but I bet Akinfenwa could score more goals than Brian Broby. Berghuis, also a guy you should sell. Same with Henderson. Those two guys, those guys are not leaders. Yesterday, they showed a perfect example of them being leaders. By being no leader at all. They're the veterans, but yet they throwing tantrums like 4-year-olds. They throwing tantrums like the children. When things are not going their way, they're not staying composed like Luka Modric or something, or Sergio Busquets, or even Messi, or like they're not staying composed. Instead, they're collapsing. They're throwing tantrums. They're cursing out people. They're throwing elbows. They're not letting their game speak. No, they're the mouth doing the talk. Cala boca. Cala boca. Now I'm speaking Portuguese now. Cala boca. Filhos da puta. Caralho. You know what I'm saying? Like Jesus Christ, bro. Like, shut your mouth, bro. Know your role. Shut your mouth. Henderson is 34-year-old. Especially Henderson. Henderson is 34 years old, right? And he won in Champions League. A title with Liverpool. FA Cups and all that with Liverpool. And this guy still acts like he's 14 years old, bro. Instead of staying composed. That's why I said yesterday, show me one game where Henderson really dragged us over the line to get a victory, bro. He's suspended for next game. So good job, Henderson. You're suspended for next game. Sell this guy next season, bro. Sell him and sell Berghuis, because it's a disgrace that he got an extension for 2 more years. Meanwhile, this guy is on a downward spiral. He's regressing. Berghuis is one of the worst. Like, this guy, his best season with us is when he was riding off the piggyback of Tadic and Haller and all those guys. But when those guys left, and he's supposed to be the leader, he's not leading at all. He is not leading. Sell him ASAP. Mika Gos needs to hold his bench. Right? Play Everton, because I like Everton a lot more with what he brings lately. Right? Mika Gos needs to start holding bench and needs to start working on his game. And needs to start being more clinical. Needs to start being better, bro. Because right now you're looking worse than Martinelli. You're looking worse than Martinelli. And I feel like Martinelli right now is getting in form. Which is a good sign, because we need Martinelli Martinelli needed to be in form and score the goals against PSG. But that's for another video, right? But Mika Holtz, please. You're not even getting past Hodemans, bro. You're not even getting past a lamppost if you could right now, bro. Whole bench and get better, bro. Kenneth Taylor, you know what? I'm not the biggest fan of Kenneth Taylor. I still don't think he's all that great. But this guy, if a club comes for him next season, sell him. Because I feel like we need somebody creative, bro. We need some creativity in the midfield again. When's the last time we have some creativity, bro? Anton Gai, I feel like we might as well play Lucas Rosa again, because Lucas Rosa, those last 2 games that I've seen him against Willem II and PSV, much better than, especially defensively, right? Because Anton Gai, this guy's a passion merchant, bro, and the fans are falling for the okie-doke. Oh, look, he works so hard. Oh, he works so hard. You can work as hard as you can, but if you ain't good on the ball, and especially defensively, there ain't much left of you as a player, bro. Like, even his crosses, bro. This guy, like, spamming crosses out of nowhere. His cross is not that good. Like I said, this guy is just the Danish Ricardo Forijn. Remember, like, Ricardo Forijn, when he scored that free kick, you know what I'm saying? And he thought that he was a free kick master all of a sudden. The same with Anton Gai. Like, he had a few crosses, and all of a sudden this guy thinks he is David Beckham. Jordel Hato has been having a better second half of this season. But yesterday, bro, like, this is the second time Miguel Rodriguez looked like Lionel Messi against you. Second time Miguel Rodriguez spun you out. Second time this season. Jordel Hato, bro, I hope that was just an off game from yesterday. But be better, bro. Be better. Because you're talented, bro. And you stepped up the second half of the season. And I hope you only get better, bro. Because if not, then you are not better than Julian Timber was at his age when he was 19. Because Julian Timber was locking up Haaland and all those players at your age. You're not doing the same. We're not doing the same just of yet, but you know, it comes with time. Mateus also had an off day. Mateus, if you have another off day again against Sparta, Pasveer needs to return. As a matter of fact, I might as well play Pasveer against Sparta. Like, we need somebody that dictates the defense. Because Soutalo's not doing that. Soutalo is quiet, bro. He's a quiet storm, like Prodigy from Mobb Deep, right? He's a quiet storm. And especially Kaplan not doing that as well. As far as Kaplan goes, Kaplan, if you ain't stepping up, bro, you can go back to Trabzonspor. As a matter of fact, I would rather, like, you can go back. As far as I'm concerned, you can go back, bro. You better off going back to Trabzonspor. And if you're staying here, then please don't play football. Like, get a job at a shawarma shop or a dinner shop or something and make kapsalons. You do that. Make dinner kebabs. But we don't need you to we don't need you to play football for Ajax anymore. Absolutely not, bro. And as far as Fadioli goes, if you don't get the side over the, bro, it's quite easy. If you fumble the title, I won't even give you a second season. I would have given you that, right, if you was second for the remainder of the season. Then you will get a second season, right? But you're on top right now, right? You're on top of the Eredivisie. So you still have a margin right now of 9 points that can drop to 6 if PSV wins on, well, they will win on Thursday, right? Then you still have a 6-point margin. If you drop those 6 points and hand the title to PSV, you can pack your bags and go back to Italy. Because nobody should accept that. I'm sorry, and that's what I mean with all these Ajax fans, right? I feel like there's a divide in the fan base when it comes to that, right? Some people don't understand. I feel like some people really don't understand the procedures Ajax have, right, and the history, or they all like, kind of like, not like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's kind of the Arsenal disease, bro. The Arsenal disease. By saying like, oh yeah, we overachieved. Nobody expected us and all this stuff. Like, that should not be an excuse. That should not be an excuse to tolerate fumbling a title. That should not be an excuse. I don't care who the manager is. I don't care what project we're in, phase we're in. Like, if you fumble a title, you need to go. 6 points. You're 9 points, actually. 9 points. 9 points, and you drop all 9 points. You should not see next season at all. You should not. You should not. Just because the guy talks slick, just because the guy looks handsome for all you fruity ass people, right? Just because the guy, I don't know what y'all like infatuation is with this dude anyway, but especially when it's not coming, like when it's not football related, right? But none of that should be an excuse for him to stay and for these players to stay as well. Because we can say, oh yeah, Brian Broby and all this stuff. We all know he needs to go. We all know he needs to go. But keep the same energy for the manager as well. I don't care if it's his first season. Ajax is here forever. Managers and players are not. Unless you're like Francesco Totti or something like that, right? But when is the last time Ajax players have been that loyal? That was in the 60s and 70s. When is the last time we've seen the Ajax player in recent times stay until the end of their career? And not moving anywhere in the meantime, right? That's why I'm like, don't bring up Davy Klaas and all this stuff. I'm really talking about guys that have been here from jump, from the youth academy to the end of their career. You know what I'm saying? So if Farioli doesn't get the title, he needs to go. He needs to go. Cause let it be somebody else, right? Let it be a Martin Jol, right, back in the day or something, or even Frank de Boer. When Frank de Boer dropped the title on the last day, he left. He left by himself. By himself. Right? Even though he won us titles. Martin Jol didn't even get a chance. Right? He got second his first season, and the next season they fired him halfway. So why should Farioli get another chance if he drops all 9 points? You tell me. You tell me. Is that the standard of Ajax now? Giving people a second chance after fumbling a title. Giving a title away just like that. Like, you tell me why that should be tolerated at Ajax. You tell me. You tell me why that should be tolerated. You tell me why he should get another season. This is not Arsenal, bro. I keep telling you, this is not Arsenal, and it should not be Arsenal. We should be Ajax. We should be the club that holds a standard of 36 titles and 4 Champions Leagues and 2 other European titles and many other trophies in between. That should be the standard. So if that's the history that you're always glamorizing, right? Oh yeah, 95 Champions League and all this stuff. Oh yeah, 3-peat in Champions Leagues in the 70s. Oh yeah, Johan Cruyff, Ballon d'Or winner. Marco van Basten, Ballon d'Or winner. Both 3-time Ballon d'Or winners. Many great players and all that stuff. If that's a standard that y'all want to uphold, right? Then keep the same energy, right? And say, Farioli, you did your job. You brought us back into in the Champions League, but you fumbled the title. Arrivederci. You know what I'm saying? But y'all want to flip flop instead. Y'all want to flip flop. Y'all only want to apply that energy when it's convenient to y'all, right? Y'all want to only apply that energy, right, it's Brian Brobbey or something, or when it's Anton Gai or Soutalo or something. Like we all know Branko van der Bomen. That's who you want to apply that to. But your favorites? Oh no. Like that's Arsenal shit, bro. That's Arsenal shit. You know what I'm saying? That ain't even Arsenal. It's Premier League shit, bro. Premier League shit. Then you shouldn't be a fan of this club at all. Like y'all want to apply that history, that standard when it's convenient. None of that. None of that, bro. Because if y'all only want to apply it to like when it's convenient, then guess what? Ajax will not be winning any more titles in the future. In the future, they will not. As a matter of fact, people will be happy with the Conference Bay Baker set, which, by the way, is also a trophy. But our priorities have been titles. So keep the same energy for everybody at Ajax, the board, the players, and the staff. I think that's all I got to say for now, bro. So I hope that yesterday was just an off day and that these players and that the manager got the notion that it's time to give it 110% for the remaining 4 games that we have. 110%. Not even 110%. Win. Score goals. Win. Know what I'm saying? Win. And if that's not the case, a lot of you can get out. Through the back door. Not even the front door, back door. Because that would be an absolute disgrace for y'all to fumble 9 points. I've seen it already one time with Arsenal. I don't even see it again with Ajax. I don't need Ajax to be the Dutch Arsenal. Let Ajax be Dutch Ajax. So wake your punk ass up, right? And do something. Win. Win. Yes, 4 times win. And yeah. That's all I got to say. With that being said, then Wednesday Arsenal plays against Crystal Palace. I'm watching that game. I hope that Arteta doesn't play Saka, right? Because we all saw yesterday Saka, that disgraceful tackle from that Ipswich player, bro. I'm like, that was disgraceful, man. I just hope that he rests players for PSG, bro. We need to rest these players. Rest Saliba, rest Saka, rest Rice, rest the key players for the PSG game. Rest them. You know? So I'm going to watch that game and there'll be match reaction for that. And yeah. And it's Sparta, Ajax Sparta on the weekend, Sunday. You know? And I just hope we win that game. I just hope FC Twente wakes the fuck up and does something against PSV, but I'm not putting my hopes up for that. So yeah, we'll see. Because if FC Twente wins, then the gap is still 9 points, right? But we need to look at ourselves. Don't look at nobody. Look at ourselves. Right? Look at the man in the mirror like Michael Jackson and hold yourself accountable, right? And win. That's all I gotta say, man. I am out. Oh yeah, don't forget, subscribe, like the video, and let me know your thoughts. Out.